Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? We are back in Skyrim. Now, last week I asked you a couple of questions. I posted up the cards. I didn't actually mention in the episode that I was going to. So some people did actually miss the second question rather than just the first, because I think it's how they come up when they're displayed or something. I'm not quite sure, but anyway. The general results were I asked you what you'd like me to do next. Did you want me to just to go around and do random quests, whatever sort of tickled my fancy? Did you want me to build my own house? Or did you want me to play through the main storyline? And almost everybody wants me to play through the main storyline first. So we're going to do the main storyline, and we have a dog. And I also asked you, what weapons would you like me to use? And sort of use as a priority, and then as like a second backup as well. And right, see, the thing with the wolves is they're sort of fairly smart when it comes to bows, and they will move out the way. A lot of animals actually do that. They move out the way of the bows, which makes it a little bit more difficult to actually get them, but still we can soldier on and we can work through it. Is there any way to get those arrows? No, there isn't. Right, so yes, quite a few of you did answer, and you'd like me, because I said I'd like to do bows as my main weapon, and most of you agreed you'd like me to do bows as my main weapon, and then the secondary weapon is going to be 2 swords. So in situations where I do need to get in close and do a little bit of knife work, you'd like me to use my 2 swords rather than one big sword or anything like that. So that is how we're going to play forwards from here. Bow is going to be our priority weapon at all times, and then our secondary weapon will be 2 swords, not just 1. And I've never actually played 2 swords. There's the nun route over there. That's actually worth getting. It's difficult to find sometimes, the nun route. That one there is definitely worth getting. Getting those up there, the deer, it's actually quite a difficult thing to do, and generally, yeah, it's just a waste of arrows. Until you get a more powerful bow and you're better with your bows, so you can one-shot them. Yeah, you can do it, but you do have to spend quite a bit of time running them down to get the second shot in there. They take 1 arrow and then they disappear off into the wild blue yonder, and you never see them again. Right. I think maybe my mouse sensitivity needs to come down a little bit. I think that's part of the problem here. But generally speaking, I think we're going to be all right. It seems a little bit sort of jumpy, but it's definitely not the frame rate that's causing any issues. We needed to come to Riverwood. That was kind of our first thing.
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the barrow.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy. And I've got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies.
You'll see. It was a dragon. It'll kill us all, and then you'll believe me.
It'll kill you, and then you'll believe me. Oh, I love things like that. Right. As I was saying, we're going to...
Feindal thinks he can move Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him.
She's yours, is she? She belongs to you? Your property? We'll see. She may have other views on that particular matter. You really don't want to be shooting arrows in a built-up area. So let's put our bow away. How do you do that? I can't remember. Oh, you press R to put it away. Right. And we want to go in, because this is the guy that we want to see. The one that's in here. So we'll speak to this guy, and then... My first ever playthrough...
We have company.
Look, see, it's... That, I think, is the mouse. I've got a brand new mouse mat, and that doesn't seem to have helped. I think my mouse is sort of on its way out.
Come,
which is why I'm getting these little glitches.
Sit down and I'll get you something to eat.
Now then, boy. What's the big mystery? What are you doing here looking like you lost an argument with a cave bear?
I don't know where to start. You know I was assigned to General Tullius' guard. We were stopped in Helgen when we were attacked by a dragon.
A dragon? That's ridiculous. You aren't drunk, are you, boy?
Husband, let him tell his story.
Not much more to tell. This dragon flew over and just wrecked the whole place. Mass confusion. I don't know if anyone else got out alive. I doubt I'd made it out myself if not for my friend here. I need to get back to Solitude and let them know what's happened. I thought you could help us out. Food, supplies, a place to stay.
Of course. Any friend of Hadvar's is a friend of mine. I'm glad to help however I can. Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. But I need your help. We need your help.
I didn't actually mean to
The
do that.
Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Can you tell me about Riverwood? We don't need to sort of know a lot about this. How do I get to Whiterun? Well, we know that Whiterun is just up the road.
Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. Help yourself to whatever you need. Within reason.
Within reason. Brilliant. I like that. So we could take like some baked potatoes and stuff like that. So what do we got here? That's our apparel. That's Alvor. So I'm guessing this is stuff that he's got that we could take. An iron ingot would be useful, and so would a lockpick, and so would those. I don't really want to take too much more from him. Let's leave the rest. I think that's good enough. And Riverwood is this little village here. We know all about that, and I want to use the forge.
I see no harm in it, if you have the skill. The grindstone will improve your weapons. Use the table to improve your armor. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new.
I think we'll leave.
Aye.
Alfar, did you really see a dragon? What did it look like? Did it have big teeth?
Hush, child. Don't pester your cousin.
Let's not take their money. I think that, you know, they're good people. They don't need this. So we'll go on outside, and we're going to just take a quick look at the forge and see if there's anything that we can do there. But mainly what we want to be doing...
What you need, my friend. Within reason, of course.
Yes, within reason. So yeah, when I started my very first playthrough, I did that little speech with him. I spoke to him, and then a dragon turned up and killed him. Dragons do turn up, and they can kill some quite important characters in the story, which is a really annoying thing to happen. You really don't want that to happen, but it does, and it can. So we can use these iron ingots here, if we want to make something new. I'm not actually sure what it is that we can make at the moment. Blacksmith's forge is used to make new stuff. Right, so at the moment we've got iron, studded, leather, jewellery, and building materials. We don't need building materials. Iron, this is sort of what we got at the moment. We don't really have much in the way of iron. We need firewood to make more arrows. So there's stuff there that we can make, but we're not going to worry about it at the moment because we've got a little bit of armor that we can use. We don't need to worry about the rest of it. So we will come back to it. Now, grindstone. Can you use the grindstone to improve the bow? I'm not quite sure if you can or not. Longbow. Oh, it requires firewood, and we can actually improve the longbow if we want to. Now, the axe. Ah, I see. So it'll improve. It's a job to see what it would improve to. Oh, I get it there. So at the moment, it's a very, very small improvement if you were to actually do that with it. It's not something that I think is actually worth the effort at the moment. We'll wait until we've sort of leveled up and we've got some better skills. Then we can sort of spend resources and other items to improve the situation. Are we allowed to stay with him in a bed in his place so that we can then go during the day or not? I think maybe if we're going to stay the night somewhere, we have to actually go to the inn here. We will just harvest some thistles just outside the front door, because that's like a perfectly natural thing to do, isn't it? Going to pick the flowers at an inn that you're going to stay in? Maybe not, but still. If we spend the night... I did say last time that I didn't really think that cooking was worth doing, but cooking is worth doing. It's worth cooking, it's worth sleeping. You do get small bonuses.
The ale is going bad. We need to get a new batch. Did you hear me?
We got rooms and food. Drink, too. I cook. Ain't much else to tell.
Charming fellow, aren't you? Can I use the alchemy lab? Got for sale, looking for work. Heard any rumours. See, this is where you go to the bartender, the innkeep, anywhere that you go, and you speak to him, and he'll give you all kinds of like ideas for new jobs that you can go and do. I'm not sure how...
Let's sate that appetite.
I'd like to stay the night, if I could. But I don't think I can. Not like that. So, how do you spend the night with a bed? Ah, there we go. I'd like to rent a room, 10 gold.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
So you get it for 1 day.
I guess you don't have potatoes in your ears after all.
Which
Just make sure we get a fresh batch in soon.
I keep pressing the button. Right, that's not mine then, I don't think. Sleep bed owned. So where's the bed that we're sleeping in? Is it this one? Cannot sleep in an owned bed. Right, so it's neither of those two. Maybe it's this one. Ah, there we go. So it looks like this is our bed. So we can sleep here if we want to. It's 9:45 p.m. So if we sleep for 9 hours, that'll be nice and early in the morning. And I'm just going to see if I can make an adjustment just to reduce the sensitivity. And it might sort of stop this little bit of shaking that we've got going on at the moment, which is getting a bit frustrating. It shouldn't be sort of shaking that much, but I think, like I've said, my mouse may be on the way out, so I might have to do something about that, unfortunately. But yeah, let me deal with that a minute. Well, I think I've done what I can, and as we've spent the night, we will go back out into Skyrim and continue on our way. So our next task, just pick the thistles there. I will keep picking the herbs as we go along. It's a pretty useful thing to have.
Go see Hod at the mill.
Hod at the mill, right. So we could speak to Hod. If I just go to... Is it J? Right. What's that? I've escaped both my execution and a dragon. Oh, that's what we've done. And then we've got... So this is the quest here. This is kind of the one that we've got going at the moment. Now, we can pick up extra quests. We can pick up new stuff. But you said you want me to try to stick to the main storyline. So we're going to follow that first. And then we will come back and we can do other quests if we've got time afterwards. Because obviously...
do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
Okay. We'll find out about that in just a second. So, yes, we will try to do the main storyline. We can pick up a few extra quests here and there as we go along. And we could even maybe use the cooking pot. Let's see what we can do. I mean, you don't normally just stroll into someone's shop and just take over their cooking pot, but apparently you can. At the moment, we don't have all the necessary ingredients to make a lot of these, but stews restore health and that. It's the soup. No, not that soup. There is a soup. It's a vegetable soup, isn't it? Vegetable soup. Restore 1 point of health per second for 720 seconds. It's a really good one to have, so we will try to make some stuff like that a bit later on. So yes, we will speak to this guy.
I don't know what you overheard, but the Riverwood Trader is still open. Feel free to shop. The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store.
Did something happen?
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament, solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw. You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northeast of town. Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
Well, no, by the 8, fine. But only to the edge of town.
Okay. I think she wants to get out and see the world a bit. He seems less than keen.
The sooner you find the claw, the sooner our lives can get back to normal.
Right, what have you got for sale?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
So he'll have all sorts of things for sale. We'll get to that in just a second. You can see at the moment he's got 537 gold. and we've got 105. So that's how much that he can sell to us. Now I've got an add-on that should add money to the traders, so that they've got more. I'm not sure if it's actually active or not. It should be if it's not at the moment. But anyway, we're using 2 swords for our backup weapons, which are 2 of those. So we're going to sell everything, all the other weapons that we've got. So we're going to sell that one and that one. Now the value that you get from the trader is considerably less than the value you see on the item when you pick it up. So if you, I'll show you in a sec. We'll sell one of those, and I'll show the iron sword. So value 8. We got 8 gold from selling the iron sword, and I'll show you in a second what I mean with that. And we go to the steel dagger. So then we want to go to apparel. Now foot wraps, we're not using those. Fur boots, we got 3 of those we picked up. Some gauntlets. We're wearing light armor, just 1 of them, so we can sell 2 of them. And then we've got light boots, and we're wearing the Imperial. So we've got an iron shield that we're not actually using. No, we're not using the iron shield. The novice hood. Now see, that's value 100, so that's a lot of money. And his gold is now going down. So if you've got a lot of stuff, you very quickly use up the trader's gold, and then he can't buy any more stuff from you. So the novice robes are 50. That's nothing. It's worthless. So we'll just get rid of it anyway. And we got 4 of these here, and value 8 gold a piece. Potions, frostbite venom, blood freeze. It does 5 points damage to health and stamina for 4 seconds. I don't tend to use those. Most of the stuff that I do, I don't tend to use those. Minor Magicka we probably end up using, because we will try to do some stuff with magic. Ingredients is like the flowers and everything that you pick up as you go along. Never sell any of these, ever. I turn them into potions, and then I sell the potions. Books, we picked up a couple. I like books. I like to keep hold of them, so for the moment I'll keep them. We may use them later on. Bear pelts, iron ingots, wolf pelts. There's all stuff that you'll use for the blacksmithing, so we don't need to worry about any of that. Now let's just take a look at what he's got in his miscellaneous section. He's got all kinds of different things, just random stuff. Charcoal, child's doll, which has got to be one of the creepiest looking dolls I have ever seen. That is just... That's a disturbing looking doll. That really is. That is creepy. Brilliant. Right. Cow's hides, deer hides, and then there's gems and things like that. Glass and the various different things that you use for building. The soul gems, we'll get to those. That one's 1,500 gold. We don't have that kind of money at the moment. Various iron ores and things like that we don't need to worry about. We've got lockpicks ourselves, so I'm not going to bother buying lockpicks from him. Let's just see what weapons he's got, because sometimes they do actually hold a fairly decent weapon that's like a magic one or something like that. The moment he doesn't really have anything, because we're level 1, our stuff hasn't because we're level 1, everything available to us is at level 1 as well. The whole game levels alongside you to give you let's try to balance it fairly evenly. It's got a lot of things here, nothing that we want to buy though. And right, no, we're not going to buy anything else, so that'll be it.
All right then,
let's go. So that is sort of a brief introduction to trading in game.
We have to go through town and across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow.
Do we?
You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings.
Well, we're not actually going to go over there. If you take a look here at this, you've got the Golden Claw, which we could go for, and then we got Before the Storm. I'm going to stick to the base
thieves
story.
Must be mad hiding out there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Right. And so we need to go through town. I think, does she come with us or not? I'm not quite sure. I don't remember now. Do I need to speak to her?
This way.
Which way? Right, I'm wondering why you keep stopping. I'll tell you what, we're just going to leave her there because we're not actually going to do that quest anyway. So we can go for a little bit of a sprint. But no, what we want to do is we need to get to the next town. And to get there, we need to follow this road. So we will just do this as we go along. At the moment, the game level is on Adept. And it can change to different levels as you go along. But you know, if we find a particular bit particularly difficult, we can always go back and like lower down the sensitivity of the game, how difficult it is. We're gonna pick that one. Get the so yeah, you literally as you go along, it pays to pick up everything as you find it. All of the herbs and flowers and stuff like that. The game is still shaking around a bit. I don't think that is all because of my mouse. Although actually now that I'm not using the mouse at all, if I don't use it, it doesn't seem to do it. So maybe it is the mouse. Maybe it is time that I bought a new one. That is really unfortunate. I've had this mouse, well, I have had this mouse a while, so I'm going to look into it and see if there's another way. Maybe there's something inside the bit that needs cleaning. You know, where the light comes out. Ooh. Okay, we have a wolf trying to turn us into dinner. See, this is the bit that I don't particularly like, is using the bow at close range like that, because it's not particularly accurate, but at the moment I don't really have any choice. Right, there's no others. You'll see if there's others, because they show up as a red dot on the little bar at the top. And you can also catch the butterflies, and you can use them for making various potions and stuff. So it always pays to catch butterflies, catch the bugs and things like that as you go along, as well as picking all the flowers. So we pick flowers. You soon learn to identify which flowers you can actually pick as well as you go through. It's not very far that we've got to travel. You just go along the river there a little bit, and there is... It's not there, it's there. I'm looking over that way. It's actually that one there. It's that this obvious town right there that you can see. That is the one that we're heading to. And as soon as we get down there, there's all kinds of side quests that we can do throughout the town. One side quest in particular, which is very, very useful, will actually unlock a house. We can buy a house in town. It's a bit different to getting a plot of land and building our own house. That is completely different. It's a different sort of a different storyline and everything. What's going on here then? We've got a prisoner and 3 soldiers.
If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak wants to see them.
Join the Stormcloak Rebellion. I don't really want to join the Stormcloak Rebellion, as I'm an Empire man. What? Don't threaten me. I didn't do anything.
Imperial business. Be on your way.
Yeah, alright. I'm not getting involved, because, quite frankly, I'm only level 1, and they're probably going to hurt me with the sharp pointy things that they've got on their belts. And we don't really want to be hurt with sharp pointy things. There's another soldier over there. You can tell you've got Imperial soldiers, which are like general uniform, and then you've got soldiers which have uniforms for each area that you go to. These are Whiterun guards.
By a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
And they have unique shields and armor and stuff, so you can tell them apart, the different places that you go. If I commit a crime here and I go to one of the other holds, I won't be held accountable in the other hold. I'll only be held accountable if I come back to this hold, and then they will get me. I'm just grabbing a few of the different flowers and stuff that are around here before we carry on our way. Now, there's more quests here. This is all to do with the meadery and everything that we got. We've got Honningbrew Meadery. Always very... if you can find Honningbrew mead... Oh, I know what I meant to do. We were going to look at the weapons, weren't we? Look at the weapon here and then see the sword. See, value 25, and it was value 8 when we were selling to the trader. So that's just an idea of how much you get when you're picking stuff up. So if you see stuff that's worth 1 or 2 when you pick it up, you won't actually get any money for it from a trader. So it's not worth picking up.
I'm warning. Your presence is interfering with Imperial business. Be
Okay,
gone.
okay. I'm getting the butterflies. They really don't like me, do they? They're probably feeling a little bit nervous. There is all kinds of bad things going on at the moment. That is a giant, and he's attacking the farmers. So, what we're going to do... Oh, that's actually soldiers there. They've killed him. Well, that was easy enough. No, those aren't soldiers.
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you.
I didn't get a chance. You didn't look like you needed help.
Certainly not. But a true warrior would have relished the opportunity to take on a giant. That's why I'm here, with my shield brothers.
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors.
We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in Jorvaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
Thank you. Right, so we can go and speak to the leader of the companions. We will just take a look at the giant. One iron arrow. Normally, when you search a giant, he looks a handsome fellow, doesn't he? Normally, you can get a giant
How do you feel?
toe.
I think you might be sick.
Sick? I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. There is nothing wrong with me. Why do people say that to me? You get that a lot in this game. People just walk up to you and go, "Oh, you don't look very good. Oh, you're not looking very healthy today. Oh, you're looking a bit peaky." It could really give you a complex. It really could. You spend all your time. Every time you meet someone, they say, "Oh, you don't look very good. What's wrong with you?" That's not the sort of thing that's going to boost your confidence very much, is it? So, yes, there's all the different farms and everything, but what we're doing is we're going to go and see the Jarl. And I am seriously considering actually like just unlocking the ability to buy the house here. This is the cheapest house in the game, right here. There's a traveling trader here. These guys here, they turn up every now and then, and you can buy things from them. And there's also some trainers there. I think they can train you in the ways of different ways of thieving and things like that, which is always good fun. But yes, what we could do is, in order to help us like progress the game more efficiently and quicker, if we stay here long enough to get ourselves a house.
As stupid as our feud with Clan Greymane.
If we stay here long enough to get a house, city's closed.
with the dragons about. Official business only.
Right, so I can either do that, I can persuade, I can try to intimidate. I'm probably not very intimidating, to be honest. 68 gold. I have news from Helgen about the dragon. Let's try persuading him, shall we?
Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
No worries, dude. No worries. And... wrong button. I keep pressing the mouse click to interact rather than pressing the button on the keyboard. Yeah. We could have just used the first option in the dialogue, but it's always nice to like try to persuade them if we can, because it
we'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Jorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak. Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
Well, we've got this lady right here is one of the main people that I go to trade, and I do most of my blacksmithing in the game right here in this setup, or at least I have done previously when playing. This here is Breeze Home, and it's the one that we can buy. It's a very small house. It's the smallest house available to buy in the game. And it's also really convenient being right here, and it's kind of right in the middle of a lot of the story. I mean, if we zoom out a little bit, I mean, yes, there is there's not a massive amount to the south, I suppose, but you've got all of this down here. It's quite a centralized location. I'd like to try to get my house in Whiterun if I can, and then I've built a house here overlooking this lake, which you can do later on. You do a few other things. There are other houses that you can build in the game, but I've never actually built any yet, and it's one of those things that's kind of on my to-do list.
Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High King with his voice.
So we need to go and see the Jarl as our quest. So let's just go up through here. Pick that one.
It's a shame, isn't it?
He stays there and he sort of yells and shouts like that an awful lot. And we're not really doing a lot, so let's get a move on, and we'll go and see the Jarl, and we can advance this story along. All we've really done so far is ever wander around and pick some flowers. So let's try to advance things along a little bit. We're still on level 1. Right, this is the Jarl's Hall, and another reason for wanting to get the home here is because a lot of the main story is right here in this bit.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors.
Who's this then?
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
I suppose I should read out my dialogue choices just in case you can't always read it.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
Yes, I had a great view while the Imperials were trying to cut off my head. Yes, let's just do that. I had a great view while the Imperials were trying to cut off my head.
Really? You're certainly forthright about your criminal past. But it's none of my concern who the Imperials want to execute, especially now. What I want to know is, what exactly happened at Helgen?
Imperials were about to execute Ulfric's Stormcloak, then the dragon attacked.
I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once.
Where's he gone?
It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
That is a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Okay, so we've got an armor and some esteem with the Jarl. He's the guy that we need to speak to about getting a house. But we've got to do a few other things first. I think we've got to... I think part of the main storyline sort of helps us on the way to that. There's just like certain things that you need to complete in order to be able to buy the house.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
At least he's honest. Alright. Where am I going and what am I fetching? Let's not beat around the bush with this one. Let's get right to it.
Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right? I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A Dragonstone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
It sounds relatively simple enough. Anything you can tell me?
An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there.
How do you know this stone tablet is in Bleak Falls Barrow?
Must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources.
Okay, I don't think we need to worry about any of the rest of it.
Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you. The Jarl is not a patient
fight
man.
this dragon.
Neither am I, come
dragons.
to think of it.
We need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgruf. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
Right, I think this is part of what we got to do in order to be able to buy Breezehome. And no, I didn't want to go there. I want to go here. The Golden Claw, that is also in Bleak Falls Barrow. So it just so happens that we'll be able to do both of them at the same time, which is a really useful little detail. And I'd actually forgotten about that previously. Where is it Preventius? I'm not sure. The dude who was out here.
What is it that you need?
I want to speak to your man, your helper, your assistant. He might be able to help me with whether or not I'm anywhere near being able to buy a house. I don't think I am. I think we do have to go to Bleak Falls first, and then after we've been to Bleak Falls, then we can come back. So what we're going to need in order to be prepared to go there, because Bleak Falls is actually, where is it? Well, it's near, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to remove it like that. So, Bleak Falls is over here. You've got Bleak Falls Barrow there, so we need to go back to Riverwood, and then we go up the mountainside in order to try to find it. We could do some health potions before we go, so we want to make a couple of those. Now, we have pretty much run out of time for today, so what we're going to do is we're going to prepare ourselves a little bit. We're going to run down to the shops at the bottom of the hill. Down there, you do have a couple of traders. One's a general goods, one is an alchemist, and she will actually teach us things about alchemy. She has an alchemy table in her shop that we can use if we want to. So we could really make use of that. There's one thing that I would like to do before I actually go into Bleak Falls Barrow. And if you remember last week, I said to you about a stone that you can travel to, which is up here somewhere. I think it's around here. I will look it up before next week and see if we can find exactly where it is. We'll need to go to Solitude, and then we have to travel up through the mountains. It's quite difficult and it's quite arduous. And then when we get there, we get to the stone that will enable us to carry an extra 100 in carry weight. And that is probably one of the most valuable things that we can get at this stage of the game. So I'd like to do that before we go to Bleak Falls. It's going to make it a lot easier to do anything. Right. There's a whole load of potions here that we could steal from her if we can get her to look the other way.
How do you feel?
It's not very easy, though.
I think you might be sick.
Well, thanks. See what I mean? This is what you get everywhere you go. Oh, you don't look very good.
You look pardon me.
You look rather pale.
But do I detect a case of the rattles?
No, you don't.
I've got something for that. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Right. See what we got. Potions, and has she got anything? Right, potion of healing, value 109. Is really expensive to buy healing potions. It really is. It's redonkulously expensive. Potion of the healer, restoration spells, no. So she's only got those there. Really what we want is, if you look under books, restore health potion recipe, we want that one. Because if we come out of here...
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
Okay, no worries. We go into here and we go down to our books like this, and then restore health potion recipe and read. Blue dragonfly wing, charred skeever hide. Now there is other recipes as well, some of which they take like wheat and stuff. And if we take a look at our ingredients at the moment, we don't actually know anything about any of these. None of them at all. We don't have any details. But we do have the skeever tail, and we do have the butterfly wings. Not those, it's the blue ones, isn't it? What is it? Bone meal, butterfly wing, purple. Where's the other butterfly wings? Blue butterfly wing, they're 8. So, some of these, if you eat them, you actually find out. So if I eat that one, it tells me what the first detail is. It doesn't tell me what the others are. There's something else that I have to I unlock later on. But I can... Some of these more common ones, like blue mountain flower, that is a restore health. If I now use the alchemy lab and you combine ingredients. So we've got restore health, blue mountain flower. That's the only one that we know at the moment. If I just go to the ingredients and I add the blue butterfly wing and I add the skeever tail, a potion of unknown effect. If I craft that, potion creation failed. Skeever Hide, wasn't it? It was Skeever Hide. Yes, I want to quit alchemy. That was a bit of a waste, wasn't it? So, you're probably shouting at me right now. Restore health, Charred, Skeever, Hide, and Blue Dragonfly Wing. So we know that there's a Blue Dragonfly Wing, and then it's the Charred Skeever Hide. So I need to go to ingredients, and I want to go Blue Butterfly Wing and Blue Mountain Flower. Now that should give us something. There we go. Discovered effects, damage magicka regen on the Blue Butterfly and the Blue Mountain Flower, and Fortify Conjuration on Blue Mountain Flower and Blue Butterfly Wing. Okay. Poison of damage magicka.
Keep experimenting. You'll
It was a
improve
blue
with practice.
What? The Blue Mountain Flower, though. Unknown. Restore health. Is it? Restore health and so what's the first one? I'll tell you what. Let's try eating a blue butterfly. See, now I'm getting confused here. So hang on. Let's just go. No, what's this one here? So maybe it's the butterfly wing and the Blue Mountain Flower. Does that give us anything? Let's just try that. Restore health. That's the one that I want. So it's the butterfly wing, not the blue butterfly wing. It's because I got it wrong, basically. So if I make that one again, that's done. We'll come out of here. Yes. So we've made a poison, and that poison is actually worth a bit of money, which isn't all bad. The purple does restore salt pile. We can eat that one. The skeever tail and the snowberries. Some of these we've sort of eaten. We're eating a thistle branch. You know, I realise that we are actually stuffing these down our throats at the moment. It's probably not the best thing to do. Yeah, there's some very dodgy things that we're eating here at the moment. Bear claws. Yes, we're going to eat those as well. The nern root is the only one that I'm not actually going to eat because nern root is quite valuable. It's used for all kinds of things. Whoa.
Salves, poultices,
it didn't
and
like
potions
that.
on my You look rather pale.
Yes, I'm
Take
sure
a
I
look.
do. Right, let's go back over to here, and then we can go and take a look at our potions. And we made this one here, Damage Magicka Regen, C value 80, whereas it was originally a lot more than that. But we'll sell that for 80, and then we got the Minor Healing. We've now got 9 Healing Potions and Minor Magicka, and then we got Restore Health. So that restores 25, that restores 22. So we've got a few healing potions, which will probably help us when we come to do our epic battles later on. Ingredients, we could buy some more. We don't really know a lot of these ingredients. Some of these are quite valuable ingredients, and some of them we will really want to use a lot of later on, but we're not going to use them at the moment. So wheat definitely has a healing property of some kind. I can't actually remember what it is. So we'll go back over to the table. Look at us glowing. That's all the different things that we've been eating. It's probably not a good idea. So it's not the blue butterfly wing. It's the Blue Mountain Flower and wheat healing potions. There we go. So Fortify Health and Restore Health. Now that is actually really good. Health increased by 17 points for 60 seconds and restores 22 points of health. That's actually a really, really good one. So we're going to make a couple more of those. There we go. And we're almost leveled up to level 2. We're going to quit now. Quit while we're ahead. That's all we're going to do for now. That's going to give us plenty of potions that we can use. We've also got to equip our new weapons that we've got.
You know nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
What's going on out here?
And what of my son? What of Thorold? Is he nothing?
Chops and steaks,
So don't
Jarl.
talk to me
Come and
about
see my
suffering.
selection of finest quality meats.
Your son chose his side and he chose poorly, and now he's gone. Such is the way of war. The sooner you accept his loss, the better.
I will never accept his death.
They,
My son still lives. I feel it in my
there's an
heart.
ongoing family
So tell
feud
me
there that
about
we're not going to get involved
Where
in
is
right now. That's it's quite a deep sort of thing. But anyway, our current light armor is armor value 25, whereas the new one that he's given us is still an armor value of 25. Okay, but it looks better. It looks like it's gonna defend us a little bit better, really, to be honest. never mind.
I work
Right.
with my mother. Sell fruits and
Our episode next week, we are going to try to find a stone. I will find out exactly where it is so that I've got a marker to go to. We will journey to Solitude, and then we will head off into the mountains, and we'll try to get this stone so that we get the extra 100 carry weight, because in my opinion that's one of the most valuable things in the game that we could get. Once we've done that, we will head back down here and we will retrieve the Dragonstone in Bleak Falls Barrow. So we'll go to Riverwood and we will journey up into the mountains to get to the Bleak Falls Barrow and see if we can finish this. I think that would be actually quite... I think there's no reason to think that we shouldn't be able to do all of that in next week's episode. So let's just come out of there. We'll start walking down this way while we're on our way.
Dragons?
So yes, if you enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give me a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. Hopefully by next week I will have a new mouse, because it does look like this one is sort of part of the reason that I'm getting this kind of jerky movement in places. I'm not always getting a jerky movement, but I am for a lot of it, and it is, I can imagine it would be quite frustrating to watch as well. It's not really bad, but in places it's not great. So I will see what I can do about that. Now, I did notice previously, when I've done this before, there has been a dragon attack that turns up down there somewhere. And I think, though, we've got to go to Bleak Falls Barrow and do that one first. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, we will start our next episode just down here next to the horse and cart. That's it. That's all I got time for. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.